long, tall sawgrass. It's the predominant vegetation in the marshland. Now, if you notice the tops of that sawgrass, you'll see a brownish-colored bloom. That bloom that's sticking up above the plants appears every summer. And the Indians that used to live out here in the Everglades, they used to say when that bloom would appear, that the time of the great winds had come. And then again, as a result, the water lilies give us an indication of how deep they are. So we have this root system that sticks down below the plant that extracts nutrients from the water, but the plant isn't really attached. The water lily, on the other hand, has a little stem, as you can see, and I can't pull one of these guys up without tearing it apart because it is attached to the bottom. But what's important about that is that it gives us an idea how deep the water is. When those water lilies are in the water, we know that the water depth can't get much deeper than 5 or 6 feet. So they generally tell us where the shallow waters are. As a matter of fact, right where we are, the water level is probably rather shallow. Oh, no more than a couple of feet deep. That's
wow.
2 feet or so. Now also, I'd like you to notice these clumps of mud that are around the boat. There's one right underneath us. Let's see if I can pull it out. You all see this clump of mud that I'm pushing along here with the oar? See them all coming up. That's methane gas, also known, is going to build up that layer of methane underneath it. And it'll build up and build up and build up, and it'll get to such a point where the bottom will actually be ripped free in certain sections, and it'll come floating to the surface in the form of those mud islands, those clumps that you see around. You can generally tell how long those mud islands have been up by seeing what's growing on them. You see some of them are just blackish and brown. And those are ones that have recently come up. Some of them just have some dead water lilies laying on top, or some dead water hyacinth or water lettuce that have been pulled up along with the mud clump. And those are just drying out in the sun, and they've recently come up. But some of the others, like the ones that you see a little further off, and this one here, which closer into the left of the boat, over the left rear of the boat, you see a lot of grass growing on it. That one moves these mud islands around. Now, besides all the vegetation you'll be seeing out here, you'll probably see quite a bit of wildlife. And the most visible way, the most visible wildlife are the birds. There's quite a few of them, very beautiful birds out here. And I'll tell you a little bit about some of them that you should be looking for, some of the more common ones, so that you know what you've seen when you've spotted it. Red face and beak with a little yellow point at the tip of the beak. That bird is called the gallinule. And gallinule is an Indian word that means chicken-like bird with green feet. It's also known as the moorhen. But the way you can generally spot them is the little red beak and face. And if you see them up on the mud islands or walking on the water lilies, you can also spot them by their bright green feet. Another couple of birds that you'll probably be seeing out here that are large, much larger than the little gallinule, is the great blue heron, which is one of the largest of all North American birds, and the anhinga. Now, the great blue heron is very, very large. You can't miss it once you've spotted it. And it stands about 4 feet high, maybe a little bit taller. It's a bluish-colored body and a long cream-colored neck. Don't worry, that's just a beetle flying around. He's not going to bother you. He's just checking you out because we all...
The airboats scare them off? Yeah. Or are they just kind of used to it?
Well, they get scared off pretty much. We can't get too close to them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, an airboat isn't the best way to see wildlife.
I saw that one. I know, I saw it too. Alligator, yeah.
Nest is right there. That brownish mound behind that sawgrass there. She'll generally come out to explore within a few minutes of us being here, so I'll just use a boat here for a couple minutes and see if she pops out for us. That brownish mound is where she used her tail, swishing it back and forth to make a clearing. What she then did was she climbed back there and she built up a mound 5 or 6 feet around, and sometimes they make them up to 3 feet high. And in the top of that mound she'll scoop a little depression, and in there she'll lay anywhere between 30 and 50 eggs. What she then does is, you know, alligators are reptiles and they're cold-blooded. She can't produce enough body warmth that she could lay on top of those eggs like, say, a bird could. So in order to incubate her eggs, what she's got to do is she takes that vegetation that she's knocked over with her tail and she piles it up on top of the nest. And then comes down to the water and using her lower jaw like a ladle, She scoops up water, brings it back up to the nest, and pours it over those weeds. Of course, those weeds now are going to rot down and make it a little more bearable even on hot days like today. But these little alligator babies will be eating these little mosquito fish for a time. And as they get bigger, they'll be growing at a rate of 6 to 12 inches. As they get bigger, they'll be moving on to other things like frogs and snakes and lizards and birds when they can catch them fish. The alligator is not very picky about what it eats. It'll eat pretty much whatever comes its way. These little guys will grow at that rate until they reach mature size, which for the females out here ranges between 6 to 8 feet. For the males a little larger, 8 to 10 when we start fooling with them if you see them out there, even if the female isn't visible.
Yeah, you probably see it from the
Jennifer! Hi, Jennifer. What there?
The kids are going to go on at 3 o'clock. It's going to be a big show. And Mark and Stephanie's going to do all the tricks. And Mark is going to do some cut.
A lot of concentration there. See the big dog, Jenny?
Where?
Right behind me.
Oh, beautiful.
Go pet him. What a dog, huh? What was the name of that dog in Germany? Looks like that? Rupert or something? What a stories. You guys fishing in there? Here come the Smurfs. You ready, Marky boy?
The Smurfs will be facing the front, so now's a good time to move if you want to. Thanks. Enjoy the show.
What you need, honey? Need something to do?
Well, how big is the boat?
18.5 Regal.
Okay.
And fat.
They-
Hi,
they-
Gordon.
It's not a yacht. It's a
Yacht.
it's a fun boat.
Yes.
We went
Yes,
to
I got you, Jennifer. Don't worry.
We take picnic lunch with us, and we throw the anchor in on a nice sand beach and go swimming.
Oh, super.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
And then you wave to the people on the intercoastal, and then when you get in the car, you see you get real tense because they cut you off, but on the intercoastal.